Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use. And I'd lead off by saying, or asking, or saying, not really asking, because that would be the question, like an answer to the question, why is Wicket rubbing himself all over the carpet? They just got their fur cut. You will see that in an upcoming, bless you, in an upcoming vlog. Not a full dog vlog, though. Don't freak out or anything. Actually, completely forgot. I've been really, hey, you shut up, Chris. Well, at least I know it's working.
Yay.
I had some feedback here on the other side. I thought I had this muted. I guess not. I gotta be careful. If I press the wrong button, then it'll mute the whole stream again. Yeah, YouTube's been giving me headaches. So anyway, I'm very happy to see everybody here today. I was almost late with posting this live stream. Completely forgot to get it off to the patrons, but I'm glad to see that at least a few people are looking at the general spreadsheet we've got for people to look at, because we plan out where we intend on streaming each particular live video. Patrons have access to that, and they have that pretty much from day one. So I've not hidden anything from plain sight, but yes. I could also ask the question, or provide the answer to a question, and I think I may have addressed this or tried to address it earlier. Am I a brony? And the answer is no, I am not a brony. However, today's prime product view is a My Little Pony. Hey, Wicket. Jeez, he's running around. I think it's official, because on the bottom there's like an MLP insignia. I don't know if that's really in focus there, but it says MLP on one of his hooves. It is Cheese Sandwich. Now, this is the only My Little Pony I plan on collecting. I do not plan on going full brony. So before anybody starts freaking out, some people are really happy about it. There are a lot of bronies out there in our community, and a lot of non-bronies, people who love My Little Pony. I never really had a want, need, or desire to have a My Little Pony until recently. I found out that Cheese Sandwich was a My Little Pony, and this is a part of a blind bag. I have Cheese Sandwich. Now, why would I want Cheese Sandwich over, say, all the other My Little Pony creatures, characters, whatever the hell you call them? This does not make me a brony. The reason why I have Cheese Sandwich, and you can see it's like there's a cheese sandwich on his butt. Right there. I don't know, is that in focus? I think yeah, there you go. Now I think it's in focus. He's got a cheese sandwich on his butt. Who does that pony look like to you? Hun? Who does the pony look like to you?
You when you were 21.
So, who did I look like when I was 21?
Weird Al.
That is correct. Weird Al Yankovic voices Cheese Sandwich. And so, as soon as I found that out, I'm like, what? There has to be My Little Pony Cheese Sandwich. And there is. My Little Pony. Okay, Cheese Sandwich, this is where you're going right now. So you can be in this entire video here. And actually, you're not going to be alone. I'm also going to get some of my gwees. I like the gwee stuff.
You should grow your hair out.
Like Weird Al? I don't know if I'm going to go that far with it. Hey, here. This is the gwee cleaning pad that I had attached to the phone. Okay, you get to guard the gwee, Mr. Cheese Sandwich. It's Weird Al Yankovic. That's the only reason why I wanted the My Little Pony here. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with what Gwee sent for a variety of accessories. And even happier that Weird Al Yankovic has a pony that I now have in my collection. I'm not a brony, though. I know some people are like, yay, you're gonna... No, this isn't... It's not a gateway drug. I'm going to, you know, pony myself out.
That's what they all say.
No, that's not. Or if they do, I am telling you definitively I have no interest at all in My Little Pony. It's just a Weird Al Yankovic. It's the closest thing to an official... There's never been, to my knowledge, there's never been like an official toy of Weird Al Yankovic. Of any kind. In any kind of official. I mean, you can get a bobblehead, but I mean, like, as a part of a greater geek or geeky kind of culture, I consider My Little Pony kind of geeky. It's kind of fun. It's, you know, you got a fantasy world. That's geeky fantasy. And so I thought, hey, why not? Okay, enough of the bonies. The ponies, the guys that are bronies. You may have bonies. I don't know. Maybe bonies or something else. Do you get a bony when you become a brony? I don't.
A brony. You created a new word?
Oh, I don't want to create a new word. Well, I'm glad I can make you laugh. So, I talked about that. There was something that happened last night that really, I mean, I'm not surprised that the world reacted this way. And there's a lot going on in this world, and there's only so much I can pay attention to and really talk about in any given day. Yesterday it was discovered, in the morning, it was actor, comedian Robin Williams had committed suicide. And I've known, or had been watching Robin, never met him before. I know he was a big gamer, though. He loved games. The first time I ever saw him was when he played Mork on Mork and Mindy. Love that show. The guy was just crazy, goofy, silly. And of course, I don't think there were any movies that he was in, or really anything he was in, that I did not like. I mean, I'm sure there were better ones over other ones, but certainly anybody who has been a part of taking in any kind of media over the past 20 years knows who Robin Williams is. And his impact, I think, has been pretty deep in terms of the kind of comedy that he liked to do. Well, it was discovered, and this is not a judgment call, it's not a projection. I don't want to talk deeply about the particular issue that plagued Robin necessarily in terms of his case specifically, but it seems that it was likely due to depression, this suicide. And I was reminded immediately of another comedian who had committed suicide a few years back. I would consider him one of my favorite comedians that have gone well before their time, whether through suicide or death or what have you. Richard Jeni had also committed suicide, and his stand-up I just loved his stand-up. I remember another comedian, and I can't remember if it was a suicide or I remember he died, and it was just sad because his comedy was just so sharp. So and to this day, Mitch Hedberg, their wit was so sharp. So I can't remember Mitch Hedberg how he had left this earth, but it's been shown before, long ago, that there's a direct tie between people who are comedians and using laughter as this coping mechanism and exhibitionism with their comedy, in them being depressed. It's not really, it's not a laughing matter to talk about depression or to say that it's something that anybody could fix. I mean, if you've got something that's in your brain and you're hardwired, you're predisposed to a certain behavior, it's very difficult to defeat that behavior. And it could take a lifetime of unlearning what your brain naturally does or what it wants to do. So it's surprising, it's jarring to know that Robin Williams had been that far along with depression, but it wasn't surprising to me in the sense that other comedians have done the same thing, and that is it's not just telling, it's something. If I want to make a discussion point out of this, because there have been other YouTubers who have posted their thoughts on it, and I don't have any insight as far as Robin Williams is concerned. I just kind of want to make two bigger points. This came as a shock to so many people because they assumed that Robin was happy. Well, just because someone does comedy doesn't mean they're happy. They may make you happy, they may make you laugh, but that doesn't mean that they themselves are happy. That is something that I've spoken about, if not in TLDR, then certainly in our vlogs. I get tired of just seeing people judge other people, and there's a web forum that I wish I think that everyone has a freedom to say what they want to say, but the moment that one person automatically assumes and makes judgment calls based on a fraction of advice, that's when I start to get really upset. And there are some people who love the YouTube culture and following people who put their stuff on YouTube. They believe they're entitled to every bit of information, and that's just not the case. Notoriety doesn't automatically trump one's right to privacy. One's ability to limit what they show or share with you, and that's something to keep in mind. You don't know people. You watch me every day, or maybe every other day. Maybe you've never seen me before in your life. In terms of what I put out there, I only put so much out there. And even if more got out, you still don't know me. You do not know me. You don't know every single thought in my head. You don't know every motivation. You don't know what I'm feeling all the time. I mean, I put a lot out there. And it's weird hearing me say this because, I live my life about as transparently as I possibly can. But that's something that I think people have lost sight of with social media being as prevalent as it is. There's an illusion that you know people. there's the illusion that someone's having a great life, or there's the illusion that someone is successful. There's the illusion that they're a happy person. Illusion. And they may be selling that illusion to you. You may have fallen victim to that illusion, and not for nefarious reasons. But just because you know some of what someone does, just part of their lives, does not mean you know the person. And I think too many people, they want to, and it isn't the case. And I did a video on Weird Al Yankovic a few weeks ago, and I think I made like a couple of mistakes in there, and it was inevitable. I mean, I know enough, but because I'm a fan, I love supporting everything he does. I now have a pony. He drove me to get a pony. He didn't ask. He did not request that. I just thought I'd do it, right? So even though I don't know, and I know, see, that's the thing, I know I don't know everything about everybody. I barely know everything about myself. I learn something new about myself every day. Diana points it out. She's kidding. She doesn't point. When you put your life out there, even when it's TMI, like Jerry, a.k.a. Barnacle,'s Nerdgasm, loves doing selfies while he poops. Hey, if that's what he wants to be known as, then more power to him. That's a little TMI, but even then, that's not Jerry. Jerry's not a guy who just poops. Is he really? No, he also 3D prints, which is a fancier way of saying pooping, I think. Really. Yeah. I'm 3D printing. When you see Jerry talking about 3D printing, you can just you can imagine what he's doing. Anybody who puts their lives out there in social media, and that includes YouTube, it includes Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, any one of these open platforms, you see a fraction of their lives. That does not give you the right to pry further at all. That it's not just because this is what upsets me. It really upsets me a lot about traditional celebrities when they're hounded by paparazzi. I'm like, what? Someone's feeding this. Whoever's feeding this needs to stop. I don't like that because it's invading someone else's space. It's their space, man. Don't. It's their space. Everyone has to have that. I mean, if you choose to not have personal space, that's your choice. But you can't automatically assume someone else has done the same thing. So I fully respect the rights of the family to remain private. I would not, automatically assume everything about the situation. I've only known what has been reported and reasons around it. And it's something that I think everyone needs to keep in mind when they connect with people. Like, okay, so you watch the vlogs with Diana and me. You watch us on YouTube. You know us. I mean, you know enough of us. You know that we're pregnant. You know Diana's pregnant. You have a couple dogs. Certain things, but that doesn't mean you know everything. And it doesn't automatically mean you have the right to know everything. Because that's when it just, you've crossed the line. Once you've crossed that boundary that I mean, if we want you to know, we'll share it. That's how you know, if we want you to know. But everybody out there in social may not say that outright, but trust me, it's implied. So just because you like someone, and just because you follow them, and just because you read everything they do, and listen to everything they put out, and watch everything that they do, does not mean you know them. Period. I don't care. America, what the? YouTube went black for a second, and hopefully I caught it. YouTube's really been barfing lately. So, yeah, hopefully I didn't interrupt my flow too much. Let me make sure my audio is still good. Okay, it's still good. God, YouTube's giving me... You think you know YouTube? So... I think it's a reverse situation where people are lulled into this false sense of worth by putting themselves out there and taking a selfie. It may be narcissistic. They're looking for approval from the masses, like how many likes did I get? How many this did I get? I mean, it's nice, certainly to receive warmth from the community, but what's a like? What's I want to know you're a human being. I want to know that you appreciate the things that I do, and I want to potentially get to know you as a human being as well. Because that's all we are. We're all human beings. We're all complicated creatures, and when there's a mechanism that exists that makes it seem, or allows you as a person, or anybody as a person, to make their life look better than it actually is, It's potential escape. So I went Robin's situation. I don't know anything about it, but if it does turn out that it is due to depression, it would not be the first time a comedian of well-known comedian is succumbed to this is the wrong word to use, but demons in his own head. Depression is a real thing. Everybody deals with it differently. Some people better than others. I don't know everything about you. You don't know everything about me, but I can tell you this. If you ever feel like you're too much pressure, too much stress, too much strain, you need some kind of outlet. First of all, the last thing you want to do is lash out at somebody else. Second of all, you can talk about it in a safe way. You can talk, not with me. I'm not a qualified person. I mean, I'm a horrible friend at that. But don't keep it to yourself. That's kind of the bottom line. You're definitely not alone. I mean, everyone wants to think, and I think this is the folly of youth. Robin wasn't necessarily young, but the folly of youth is to believe that you're the only person who's going through something, and you're not. 9 times out of 10, you're not. There's someone else who's going through something similar. Maybe not in every respect, and the circumstances are going to be different. But it's something that I wanted to spend a good chunk of time on today, if only because it is indiscriminate in terms of who it impacts. Anybody at any age could feel depressed, could lead to a variety of issues. There are resources that are available. The way I always would explain for someone if they had some kind of issues is find a safe place. Go to your safe place, or create a safe place, because ultimately that's when you're going to be able to kind of, open up when you're feeling safe. And that's usually, it's kind of like when you see someone online and you get to know them in real life, they're usually completely different. Not always, but some people are always surprised, like, well, God, I met him in real life and he was a jerk, or he was even more nice in real life. Either way, it's like, well, because you're you, and you're a complex creature, and what you might put out there in social is not the way your real life is, and it's social. Or just the world. I mean, just because you're a celebrity and you act in a movie doesn't mean that's you. You're playing a character. You're playing a role. And as much as I think comedy was... Second time.
Jim Carrey said he suffered from depression.
That's the second time that YouTube went blank in this broadcast. Ugh, this is just driving me mad. Yeah, Jim Carrey. I'm sorry, Diana was just saying that Jim Carrey was noted as suffering from depression, and a lot of people do, celebrity or not. You don't have to be famous to suffer from depression. And I think anybody who casts judgment, you're a perfect human being. Let he who is perfect cast the first stone, and there's not a single human being out there that's perfect. We all have flaws, all of us, every single one of us, and don't feel like you're any less of a human because of that. We're all imperfect, and we all do our best. And I think as long as we respect one another, as we continue to move forward, I think that the conversation can be more fruitful. I mean, I have the same issue when it comes to bullying and cyberbullying. I'm not a fan of that. Woe be unto the child that I discover is carrying out any kind of online using messaging mechanisms and anything like that. I will not stand for. I will not sit for that. I will not stand for that. I will not put up with that. You're crossing the line. You're disrespecting somebody else, and that's not. It's not just not fair. Life's not fair. It's also not appropriate. It's not right. It's not how we can better ourselves. It's using technology as a weapon, and anybody who would use technology as a weapon is using it incorrectly. Quite honestly, they're using it to destroy instead of to build. And if technology is going to pull us in our condition out of our dark ages where we currently sit, it's respecting one another and knowing that we're different people. And even though we've got these great platforms for sharing our stories, that does not mean that the complexity inside gets better. We may be able to cope with those, our perceived insecurities differently. and everyone, trust me, everyone's got an insecurity. I refuse to believe that there's a perfect human being that's ever walked this planet. And you know, but I understand that and I accommodate that. So it was easier for me to understand why. I mean, I don't know why. I'm not raw. Only he knows why. But to understand the complexity that surrounds depression, and certainly the association of you know, celebrity and or certainly comedy as an outlet for dealing with depression, a lot of people just seem to be blindsided by it, and I guess I was exposed to it before. I do not, to my knowledge, suffer from depression. I am not a perfect human being, but that's just not an area that I never, you know, there have been some days that I'm just like, I just feel like, okay, that's it. It's noon, and I'm getting into my pajama bottoms, and this is what I'm doing. So I'm down for like an hour, and then I'm like, okay, now what? Let's do something, right? That's the way I deal. That's my coping mechanism, you know, when I'm stressed. Yeah.
I want to note that there's also online support groups if you're not ready to physically talk to someone.
Right. Yeah, but you just got to make sure it's safe, you know? Safe, and I mean, just you feel safe, you know, because if you don't feel safe, you're not going to open up, and you gotta. I'm not that person. Don't open up to me. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't. Like, it's great, but you know that you could talk to somebody, but I'm not. That's not my role. That's not what the role that I play. I just want to let you know that you're not alone, and there are probably better answers. And there are probably people who genuinely do care about you at that level who can help. And if there aren't people who genuinely care about you, find those people who genuinely care about you and can know you and help you just understand, you know, what's going on in your head. Because sometimes that's what we got to do. We got to escape these thoughts in our head. But we all go through it. So I wanted to spend some time because you're human, you're a person, and I care about you in the sense that you care about what I do. That's where we meet. But I just can't. I can only have so many relationships in my life, and know that that there are better resources out there to help address anything that you might be going through, whether it's depression or something else. So hopefully I am now said enough. Jesus Chavez says, no offense, but it feels more like an AMA. Oh, I feel like it's good as an AMA question. Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's fine. And to let you know, honestly, I'll get to the geek news here, and I'll give a fair shake, but I don't have a lot. There's not a lot to talk about. So, you know, I did spend a fair amount of time on that because I think it's worth talking about. Honestly, tech news or geek news versus talking about something that could save someone out there, save someone's life, I'm going to weight the value of talking through this, and specifically with social media. You assume you know someone just because of what they tweet. You don't. You assume you know someone because of what they post on YouTube. You don't.
And then the stigma of mental illness.
Oh, and then the stigma on top of that, yeah.
It's like Robin seemed like a normal human being. People think mental illness, they think of someone who's crazy. Yeah. I
mean, it's just something that people deal with. In fact, I'd be surprised if more mental illnesses didn't get diagnosed because of the stigma. So, no judgment. Just don't judge. I mean, I have a problem with that. Period. Don't judge. You're not. No one's in a position to judge. That's the thing that really upsets me about YouTube. People think that they have the automatic ability, they have the right to judge. No, you don't. The third... I have no idea when this is cutting out. Why are you cutting out? Oh, this is really upsetting me, though. Okay. Hang on. I don't know why this is cutting out. I'm hardwired into the system. It's the only thing I can think of. It's something. I don't know if it's something on my end. The connection gets lost, or whatever it happens to be. But it's driving me up the freaking wall. Okay, I'm gonna run through this list of patrons again. Where it got cut off. I dealt with it yesterday, and I'm dealing with it again today. I don't know what it is. Oh. So anyway, we're gonna move on. Skylanders. Now, I knew about this, or I heard about it. I'm not a gamer. I don't play Skylanders or anything. Apparently, it's coming. What is going on? Try me up the wall. I just want to get, okay, here's the deal. Until I can troubleshoot this further, I'm going to get through this presentation. And I may have to wrap, because I don't know why it keeps dropping out on me. I've got plenty, there's nothing else that's going on in the entire network at this stage that would cause any cause these types of disruptions on my end. The only other thing I might have to do is figure out how to do this through a Google Plus Hangout, because I don't have the dropouts. It's specifically with this application, the broadcaster that goes into YouTube. But if I use Hangouts, I can't use this camera. Well, yeah, I guess. It's just not as... Is it going? Oh, it's not even advancing. Oh, sorry. Can we get through it this time? Will we get through it this time? This is like, we should take bets. Where do you think it's going to go black? Because what happens is it freezes on my end. Maybe I need to reboot. Maybe that's what's causing this, you guys. Because I hadn't rebooted since yesterday. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've got, solid connections between everything else. I mean...
That's true.
That's in. It's plugged in.
Maybe we should reboot.
I can't do it, right now, obviously, because I'm, in the middle of a live stream. unless it stops. One of these times when it goes black, because I can see it skipping, one of these times when it goes black, I may not come back. So just expect that may happen here in this broadcast until I can troubleshoot this particular connectivity issue further. It could be, I think it's the software, quite honestly. The software is really, it's always been buggy, and I think software is also the thing that's been causing problems with audio blips. And so tomorrow, I may have to figure out, I may have to do it as some kind of hangout from a different angle and figure out how to make this work for everybody. It's not the bandwidth, guys. There's no possible way on God's green earth it's the bandwidth. There's no way. There's no way. So, Skylanders is coming, as I had interrupted myself earlier, to tablets. Kind of excited about that. Well, I'm not, but I'm not a Skylanders player, but it's a big deal getting off of consoles playing Skylanders. This was kind of fascinating. Up to 23 million Twitter accounts. That's 8% are bots. 8% of Twitter accounts are not real. Doesn't surprise me, but I'm also kind of surprised it's that high. It's easy to sign up for a Twitter account. Anybody can, and anybody does. But 23 million, not real. They're bots. Today is patron Steve Channine's birthday. He wanted me to give him a shout-out, so happy to do that. He's known as Tech Zero. That's TECHXERO. In other gaming news, these are the only things that I found in the stack. Really of interesting tech or geek news today. SharePlay is going to let friends remotely play your PS4 games with you without owning copies. That's kind of neat. I like that idea. I mean, if only because, gaming can be, good when you're gaming with friends. And so it's nice to see that this is happening with Sony. SharePlay. I like the idea. But as I've said before, not really a gamer, certainly not a console gamer. And I don't have a PS4, don't have an Xbox One, don't have a Wii U, don't have... Really, we only have an Xbox 360. That's it. And we don't use it all that often. It's there for legacy purposes. We've kind of moved on in terms of our need with digital media. Yay! We finally got through all the patrons. Dodged a bullet there. And in other news, we also have information coming out of Microsoft. Xbox One is set to offer TV streaming on SmartGlass, video playback by USB and DLNA network streaming. Pretty smart. I think a lot of people wanted that anyway. I've always been a fan of the way Microsoft has adopted the SmartGlass strategy, as in you can use a non-Microsoft device, on a non-Microsoft platform for SmartGlass. So the idea is that they're doing exactly what I think Microsoft needs to be doing and playing more like Google in that sense, because Microsoft doesn't need to control the platform as long as they're making it easy for you to get to. What does Microsoft care if you've got iOS? If you buy into Xbox 360, well, not just Xbox Live, but Office 365 and or Xbox One, any of the gold level subscriptions, I mean, they want to get SmartGlass in more places, and I think they're right for doing it, and I think they're making the right steps. So it's nice to see that TV streaming is coming that way. You know, anymore it's not even an issue. I mean, at one point it was an issue. We didn't have the hardware, we didn't have the software, we didn't have the service, but now it's at a point where we almost have too many, which is okay. I'd rather have selection in the marketplace, but it's almost overwhelming. You could make the wrong decision, and it could be expensive. I mean, we're having this problem. You guys thought you were going to escape a day with me not mentioning the baby, but the hang on, no Twitch. No, I don't think I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to do Twitch. I think the idea of Twitch is a great idea, but now Twitch is being acquired allegedly. Well, where there's smoke, there's fire, by Google. And honestly, I'm not a gamer. They're pretty much for gamers. I may figure it out at some point, but I'm not incredibly motivated at this stage. So thank you everybody for tuning in. But I'm not going to push the envelope here. We've gotten through just fine now. Like I said, it gets burpy. I'll reboot. Hopefully, we'll be cleared up tomorrow and take it as it comes. I'm looking into other software options as well. So thank you everybody for paying attention. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you for being a good person. If you are a good person. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you are. And, you know, just know that you're not alone. And what else should I say about that? Have I said everything? I'm not judging you.
Be nice to each other.
Be nice to each other. Because you never know what someone else is going through. Thank you. And hope you liked today's effort. And I hope you... That pretty much it. Sorry, I'm like going through troubleshooting steps in my head. Talking and troubleshooting at the same time is sometimes not easy to do. Thank you, Gwee, for sending this stuff. I really do appreciate it. Oh, come on. There we go. That's nice. Wait, how did I... Okay, there we go.
I like that name because it's easy to...
Gwee?
Because like, wee.
Well, you put a gwee in front of it. I've got one more video that I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to reboot before I do it, though. How would you run your own ISP? Well, I tell you what, I'd make it easier to live stream on the internets. So I don't have any ideas, but I've had some really good ISPs over the years and good experiences, and would probably you know, take it that direction. I think I answered that question partially in the AMA on Friday, but you know, that's the video. I do 5 me every day, and you know, hope to dive a little deeper into that topic today after I reboot. To see if I can clear up this blacking out problem, which, by the way, has been plaguing me for a long time. It's happened before in a lot of the videos, so this is nothing new. Thank you. I really do appreciate the support that everybody is giving. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. We'll see you later.